What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to check out the auto catchers in Pokemon Go to make sure you guys are set up and ready for Go Fest, to make sure that if you do not have one, you know exactly which one I'm going to recommend. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys currently use any type of auto catcher? Do you have a Pokemon Go Plus? Do you have a Pokeball Plus? Do you have a Go-tcha? Do you have a dual Catchmon? Because today we're gonna break down all of those to make sure you guys know exactly what I recommend, what I think about each of them, what are the pluses, what are the minuses, and then what are the price points for each of them as well. So we're gonna get into all of that details. So I hope this helps you guys out so you guys can make sure to max out on Go Fest and have everything so that when you do take a break, whether this is for Go Fest or not, like think about on Calm Day, 6 hours, what we're doing right now, taking a break for lunch, typically, like, you may not want to get away from your game, but now if you put on an auto catcher, it can go ahead and sit there and keep catching while you are not playing. So the great thing about the auto catchers, the biggest thing, is that you can lock your phone, keep Pokemon Go up, but have the phone locked, and the auto catcher is going to continue to catch Pokemon and spin stops the entire time until it disconnects. As far as disconnecting, typically they disconnect every hour if you are lucky. However, most of the time I have seen them disconnect quicker than that. It really just depends on the game. So that is where we're going to sit. Not only that, these things are amazing because you can catch Pokemon when you are not playing, right? So like when I go out to the store, and if I don't necessarily want to consciously play Pokemon, what I do is I put my auto catcher on, I go to the store, and oftentimes I'll come back and I'll have a shiny in my bag. Obviously I'm getting more XP and Stardust as well. I'm catching more Pokemon. It's gonna be a big win overall. Honestly, this device, if you do not have one, will totally change your life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to sell you guys anything, because I literally have no affiliation with any of these devices. The only thing I'm doing is recommending it to you guys because literally it changed my life, gets me more shinies, more Stardust. It's overall one of the biggest wins. So I'm gonna make sure you guys know everything you have to know about all of these devices, so when you do choose which one is best for you, you know what you're getting into. But before we get into it, I just want to cover this in case you guys don't watch the entire video. You're like, this is the one I want, I'm done watching this. Where do you guys buy your stuff? So obviously you can buy most of these things on Amazon. However, if at all possible, I would suggest trying to get it from GameStop, Target, Walmart, anything that's going to be a big box store, because you have more of a chance to get a legit one, because there are definitely knockoffs out there. So I want to make sure that you guys do get a legit one. And then oftentimes something like GameStop, if you're going to check out a Go-tcha, they do have them in stock locally. So if you do go ahead and call the store or even go online, you can check them out. I'm going to recommend where I've bought in each one of these and where you can typically find them. So let's start off with the most simple one, probably the one that everybody has been exposed to, which is going to be the Pokemon Go Plus. So this is put out by Pokemon Go and Pokemon to make sure that you guys can max out. So that's what we're going to start off with right now. So starting off, we're going to check out the Pokemon Go Plus. So this is it right here. It's approximately, I don't know, 1.5 inches big, right? So it's pretty legit. I definitely used to play with this. You can take this band off if you don't want to, or you can just wear it like this. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to Dad Pool from Naperville for hooking it up with this to borrow for the day, just to check this out. So all you do is you put it on and you can go ahead and go there. And so this is what it would probably look like. So I did like this thing a lot, right? So this was the first thing that I got introduced to. I don't currently play with it anymore, and I will give you guys the reason for that. So it does have this little center button, and that's really the only thing you need to do. So you basically just push the center button to click this ball, and then it shows up right there. Once it shows up, I'm gonna go ahead and connect to it. And so in this menu, you can select if you want to catch nearby Pokemon or just go to Pokestop. So if you're gonna be hand catching, you're typically going to want to do nearby Pokemon off, and then you're only gonna have the Pokestops on. The one thing about this is that whenever you go into catching a Pokemon, typically what's gonna happen is it's going to have a little bit of latency, meaning a little bit of pause time in between having the Go-tcha or the Plus or whatever you're playing with reconnect. So sometimes there is an issue when you have a different type of auto catcher set up already. So this one has already been synced to a phone. And so what you had to do is you hold this button down for 5 seconds, the light's gonna turn blue, and then I'm gonna hold it down for 5 seconds again until it vibrates. So now I should be able to go ahead and connect this. So there it is, I can pair it, I got a little vibration, and then we are on to go. So right now, if you guys can see, it's flashing green right now. So that means that it's gonna be on a Pokemon. It's gonna keep flashing until I click this button, and then it's gonna go 1 vibration for 1 shake, 2 vibrations, 3 vibrations, and it's gonna beep a couple times. That means I caught it. Now it's gonna go on to the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and click that, and you can see in the bag immediately if you did catch it. So we already caught this. 3 vibrations, and then it goes bump, 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 bump. All right, so now it's gonna go on to the next one. 1. Okay, so we caught all 3 of these so far. There we go. That is going to be the Go Plus catching in action. Now it's going to go for Pokestops. It does a double vibration here for this one. There we go. It's going to get that. And then it's going to vibrate every time it gives you an item. So then it's going to keep vibrating. Okay, so you can modify this. And Heather from downtown Naperville does have a modified one to make it auto catch for you guys. I'm not going to go into how to modify it because there are other devices that you can just buy that have modifications like this already built in that we're going to cover next. So the good thing about this device is that it is very controlled. You have to press the button every single time you want to catch something. So it's not like some of the other devices that we're going to talk about that typically go auto catching, and it's very hard to control that device. Think of this as like a single shot gun in a video game, right? So you have control over pulling that trigger. But then if you're going to go into that same video game and you're going to use a machine gun and you just hold down the trigger, and you don't really have control over how many bullets are coming out of that gun. That's typically what I compare this to. This is the single shot, complete control over it. It's gonna give you the most control, but the downside is you cannot turn off vibration to this. So it's always going to vibrate. So if you're in a quiet place and you are playing and you don't want to have something keep vibrating, this is gonna be an issue for you. The other thing is that this takes batteries. So it does not have a rechargeability. So every, I would say maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks or so, you're gonna have to replace the batteries of this one. So that's another downfall of this. And if you play a lot and frequently, that's gonna be an issue for you guys. So this is the Pokemon Go Plus. I like it. It was an intro auto catcher for me. I used it a lot. A lot of people still use it, and you can definitely take this off. I mean, I'm sure you can find some type of keychain for it as well. You can find some things on Etsy to be able to change up this logo if you want to change up for your team or whatever that is. But that's what I'm gonna suggest here. The price point of this is gonna be $25.99 at Walmart. So it's relatively competitively priced. However, I do not use this device. I'm not gonna say that I recommend this device unless it's something that you want and you saw those points. All of these things connect through the same connectability. So some people may be like, which one disconnects more? Oftentimes, all of them will typically stay connected for about an hour is the typical time frame before they recycle. However, during some times, they will cycle on and off, they will disconnect. It happens. So all you're gonna have to do is basically check. Also, what happens is if you have your notifications turned on, it can keep popping up and telling you when you catch Pokemon or if a Pokemon ran away or if you spun a Pokestop. So it's pretty cool integrated. And then obviously, like I said, if you want more control, you can just go into the settings, click on the Pokeball Plus, and you can turn these on or off accordingly. And if you didn't want to catch Pokemon or do Pokestops, you could literally just set both of them off, and that would just calculate some miles for you guys if you guys don't close and have Adventure Sync on. So that's another bonus that you can do. So $25.99 from Walmart right now. It doesn't look like GameStop sells these anymore. So that is gonna be this right now. So intro, very rudimentary. Doesn't have too many bells and whistles. It uses batteries, which I'm not a huge fan of. I really like the rechargeability. I don't want to keep having to go and spend $5 to $10 on a battery. And then what do you do with the batteries? I typically try to recycle them, but I would rather not have to deal with that because I'm really into the environment and I want to just be as congruent as possible. Next, we're going to move on to the Pokeball Plus. We are now going to go into the Pokeball Plus. So this thing comes in a package, which you can get when you get the Nintendo Switch games of Let's Go. That's how this came in. So this particular one, I do like a little bit better. This one is going to be rechargeable. So there is a port over here in the back that you can just pull this out. It is gonna charge by a USB-C in the back right there. And then if you do wanna reset this, you're gonna go ahead and click this little button in here. It's very hard to see. It's got like a little pin. So that's what you're gonna do. And so this one, you can actually load a Pokemon in from Let's Go, and you can walk it around so that when you are playing with it, it can go ahead and, number one, you can walk that Pokemon to be able to get you XP towards that Pokemon to help it evolve. And then number two, it also makes noise as well. So we're gonna go ahead and connect this guy. So the pairing process on this one is slightly different because there's actually a little menu for the Pokeball Plus. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this top button. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. All right, and then it should go ahead and connect right here. All right, so we have it hooked up. It is all set up, and so it is now vibrating. I'm gonna go ahead and click this one, and then we are going to go ahead and catch it. So it's similar to the Plus, right? But the positive is that you can recharge it. It does have a little thing to put around here, and then I've also see, I think this is a finger clip right here that you can go ahead and put that around and kind of hold it like this. So if you do go ahead and drop it, I've seen a lot of people clip this on their belt loop. So we're gonna go ahead and catch all this stuff. And the positive thing about this is not only does it go ahead and catch the Pokemon, it does vibrate. And then since I'm sitting under stops here, this one automatically spins stops for you. So I'm not touching anything and boom, it's spinning the stops. However, it is vibrating. So that is the one downside here. But look, it spun all those stops. So the one cool thing about this, and I have seen people do, is they basically go ahead and put a really taut, tight rubber band on this that is gonna basically hold down this button, which will then help you catch everything. So if we go ahead and walk with this particular one, I'm gonna hold down on this button as if there was a rubber band here. And this should then go ahead and catch the next Pokemon because I have my finger on it. So let's just imagine this was a rubber band. We did just get a Pokemon that spawned right here and it should go ahead and snag it. Yep, so I didn't let go and it's auto catching right now. So this is made from Nintendo. This is gonna be $29.99 for this little guy right here. It does vibrate, you cannot turn off the vibration, but when we're walking here, I'm just holding down on the top. So if you're able to just have something that holds down on the top, I know a lot of people love these things, you're gonna be able to do that. The other cool thing about this is if you do have a Switch and you desire to, it's a little challenging, but you can play Nintendo Switch with this as a controller as well, and it recharges. So big fan of the rechargeability, and it seems to work pretty well, and you can charge it quite frequently. Usually when I play with these things, all the auto catchers, I'll usually charge mine every day to 2 days, depending on how hard I'm playing. So I don't know exactly how long this battery lasts, but having your device charged up is super important. And I'm just holding this down and it's auto catching for me right now. So there we go. So the cool thing about the Pokeball Plus as well as the Pokemon Go Plus is that you actually can feel if you caught the Pokemon or not, because it's either gonna go vibrate, 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 vibrate means you caught it, or it's gonna go vibrate, 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 right, real quick, and that means that the Pokemon ran away. So you actually know what is going on, which is pretty cool. So do I like this? Yes. Do I like it better than the Pokemon Go Plus? Absolutely. It has the chargeability, which I'm a big fan of, and it auto spin stops, period. And then if you just put the rubber band on the top, it's gonna auto catch for you. The one thing that I don't like, the vibration, which we are gonna check out in the next bit, which is gonna be the Go-tcha. You guys do hear me talk about that quite frequently. So if you guys do wanna see what this actually looks like, we got some pretty good lighting. So that's what it's gonna look like with when it's telling you that it has a Pokemon. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click the top button, and we got 1 vibration, 2 vibration, 3 vibration. All right, so that is the catch. We have another one here. 1, 2, 3. No, you saw that. The red circle is gonna tell you that it did not catch it. So it's pretty cool, pretty self-explanatory. And once you hook it up, it's gonna go. The one thing that signifies that I have to redo this and connect it again is that when I am in a downtown area such as this and I stop feeling the vibration, I just try to become aware of that and I just go ahead and check my game every so often and I reconnect. So great thing to use as well, especially if you don't want to play. The one downside as we try to catch a Pokemon again is that it vibrates. Like I said, vibration, not the biggest fan of, because in an area like this, it's perfectly cool. But as soon as you get into an area that is quiet, like let's say you're in an office meeting, you're downtown Chicago, and you have something that's vibrating and there's no noise going on, it's very obvious that it is vibrating. And now we're gonna move on to the devices that are not specifically made by Nintendo. However, they do connect exactly how this does. They do perform the same way. However, I do, in my opinion, think they have an advantage because they are programmed with software that is gonna allow you to auto catch, for one. Number 2, you can still recharge them. And number 3, you have the ability to turn off the vibration, which is absolutely amazing. So the first one we're gonna highlight is the Go-tcha. So Go-tcha has 3 different variants that are out right now. We have the Pokemon Go-tcha Evolve Watch, which is gonna be $50. It's virtually gonna be like a watch. The one that's the original is gonna be the Pokemon Go-tcha Bracelet, which is gonna be $34.99. And then we have one more, which I do also like, it's a little bit clunkier, is gonna be the Pokemon Go-tcha Ranger, which is the exact same thing as the Go-tcha Bracelet that we just talked about for $34.99. This one looks like it's gonna be about $28. These are all from GameStop. I would suggest trying to get this one from GameStop if at all possible. They do carry them in low quantities. So this Go-tcha is absolutely amazing. Honestly, this is what I play with right now. So if you guys are into bracelets, the Evolve is a stuck bracelet. The Go-tcha regular form that we just talked about, that's $35 basically, is not a stuck bracelet. It has a little thing that you can take out, and since I don't wear the bracelet is pretty cool. It's got different bands. You can buy them on Amazon for relatively inexpensive. I'll link all this stuff in the comments below. But what I use is gonna be this little keychain fob thing. So number one, it comes with a little carabiner. So I can go ahead and clip this on my belt loop and leave it like that. You can put it on your keys and whatever that is. It's super easy. So in order to charge this one, it's a little bit clunkier than the Pokeball Plus, but you basically just take this thing out, and when it's in the bracelet, it's literally the exact same format. The bracelet's obviously gonna go on your wrist. I'm just not a big wrist bracelet kind of guy, so I just go ahead and take this off, and then this is gonna be what it is. So it definitely becomes a little bit scarier to hold because like I said, like it's pretty small. It's like a little bit bigger than a kidney bean. And you basically just put it in this prong thing and go ahead and plug it into the wall. It has a USB, so it can go into any of your phone chargers, which is really nice. You don't have to have anything specific for it. You just have to have the plug-in, which it basically just sits like this, pretty self-explanatory, and then it's gonna go ahead and charge. So you're gonna be able to click this thing and you can cycle through settings. So this is gonna be auto stop spins. This is gonna be the auto spins. So these first three settings need to be checked on. This next one right here is gonna be vibration. So if I want the vibration on, I go ahead and hold it down, and then you can see it vibrates pretty hard. And then if I want it off, I go ahead and hold it down there, and then it turns it off. And so everything else needs to be checked in order for it to work. And the only thing unchecked is gonna be that vibration for me. I don't really care about the vibration. I don't want the vibration on, so it's pretty easy to connect. This is gonna be the machine gun auto catcher. It will go after everything. You have no chance in order to be able to go ahead and not catch something. So in these settings, you can turn off the auto catcher. However, I haven't seen it to work incredibly well. Like if you're looking to have the ability to not catch everything and you wanna have control over it, I would say that using any of the Go-tcha devices are probably not in your best interest. They're not the most fluid in that manner. Like yes, you can turn off the auto catcher and just click on the watch every time and catch with it, but the Pokeball Plus is so much better for that. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and connect this one, similar to like we did with all the other ones. It's gonna be the same exact process. It hooks up exactly like the Pokemon Go Plus. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this. The device is gonna show up. I'm gonna click on it. It uses through the exact same pairing process. I'm gonna go ahead and pair there. And then we are gonna be on here. So this one is catching right now. Nothing, you can't hear it. It's gonna spin stops. It's gonna go after it. Make sure every time you connect this one that it's gonna be connecting properly and it's gonna be spinning and catching everything, because sometimes you just have to cycle through a couple of these things and just make sure the first three are gonna be checked off, because sometimes it does have the ability that when you reconnect it, that they are not automatically set up. And when that happens, it just gets stuck basically. So what you wanna do every single time is just basically go through, first one's checked, second one's checked, third one's checked, my vibration is off, and we are good. I can put this wherever. The great thing about this is it's rechargeable. It lasts a while. If the vibration is on, it lasts a lot less. But since the vibration's off and I'm not playing, I can just go ahead and put my phone in my pocket. I can go ahead and walk, and every 20 to 30 minutes, I just check my phone just to make sure this is connected, just to make sure that I have enough space in my bag, and just to make sure that I have enough Pokeballs. The one thing about this one, the red Pokeballs will be demolished so incredibly fast. If you have trouble getting rid of your red Pokeballs, a Go-tcha is gonna be your best friend. So the Go-tcha Evolve is gonna be the straight bracelet, and the Go-tcha Ranger is basically gonna be bigger. It's gonna be about this big, about this wide, about this thick, and it's going to be a battery pack on the Go-tcha. So if you really don't wanna have to worry about charging it, you wanna go days on end, that probably would be it for you. But I really like the diversibility of this tiny little thing. I can put it wherever, I can keep it on my keychain, and then it's secure. I was losing the bracelets. I would put them around my keychains and sometimes they come off. So ever since I've gotten this, I have not lost it since. So this little thing is amazing, and I do believe you get like 2 of these little cases for 10 bucks. So we're just gonna go ahead and walk, and I'm just gonna show you guys this in action, doing absolutely nothing, and it's gonna be catching Pokemon for us. In the background, see, it just caught a Pokemon, a Lillipup. I do hope we get a shiny, but I can't guarantee that we're gonna get a shiny because sometimes they just pop up in the bag. And if you guys are checking out my screen right now, I'm doing nothing and it's working for me. So you can still toggle on and off Pokemon or Pokestops. I always suggest when you're doing Calm Day and you're catching by hand, you just have your Go-tcha connected and it's just spinning Pokestops. Like I said, there is a little bit of latency, meaning that when you go ahead and catch something, you break the cycle of the Go-tcha. So once you break the cycle, what I mean by that is like these auto catchers are basically a program running. And so as soon as you go and start catching something, like if I click on this Pokemon, like I'll click that Venipede, okay, the Go-tcha already targeted it, so it's already caught. But if I go ahead and I do something, like I break this cycle that it's on, so see, look at that, guys. Like this thing is going crazy right now. Absolutely crazy bonkers. It's just catching everything in sight. And it'll even catch things before they even spawn on the map, so you really don't have a chance with this machine gun to even get after anything unless you hit a really dense cluster. So if I break this up, let's see if I can break something up. See if I can get something to spawn here. See, it's okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. So it's catching that other Pokemon right now. So there, I broke it up. So now look, it's taking a second to be able to think about it, to reconnect itself, to go after the next Pokemon. That happens. It happens to the Go Plus, it happens to the Pokeball Plus, it happens to all the gotchas, the dual Catchmon, which we will talk about in a second. And there it goes again. So it took about, what, 30 seconds or so in order for that to reconnect. I'm gonna click on this Charmander to make sure it's not shiny. In my recommendation, what I use the most is the Go-tcha. I absolutely love this thing. It's fantastic. It has the vibration toggle, which is crucial for me. I don't wanna be in a silenced area and hearing something vibrate all the time. I don't wanna have to worry about pushing a button to catch everything all the time. This is basically one of the things that gets me so much Stardust. Highly recommend. So which version do you buy? If you want a strict hardcore bracelet, you never want to go after anything else, I would say that the new Go-tcha bracelet would probably be it. However, that's $50. This one works perfectly good. It has a bracelet. The bracelet's gonna be like a silicone, so it's gonna be a little bit more clunky. It's not as slick as the new one is, but it's only gonna be $35. And then if you want the Ranger, I like it, but the battery pack is bigger. And so that's basically like having another phone in your pocket. So in that regard, I'm not the biggest fan of that. And this Go-tcha will last me so long. This is what the Go-tcha is gonna do right now. We'll check it out. It'll last me long. Like, it'll last me like 2 days if I have it running virtually all day. And I've had this one for a while, so the battery's definitely got some use as well. So I'm saying that if you guys really want something that's gonna take your gameplay to the next level, that you don't have to think about, this is definitely gonna be the auto catcher for you. And so it's still going here, catching everything. Takes a couple seconds. You can go and look in your bag and watch it pop up if you want. Look, there it goes, popping up. So as soon as it clicks on it, it literally decides instantaneously if it's gonna be caught or if it ran. And it will be in your bag, boom, there you go again. So they both catch at the exact same rate. There is no difference like the Go-tcha or the Pokeball Plus or the Pokemon Go Plus of which one has a higher catch rate. It's virtually, I'm gonna throw one ball at this Pokemon, a red ball. Either you catch it or you don't catch with a straight ball throw. So with that said, sometimes when you're out at an event and you're in like a starter event, and they're not easier to catch like Comday, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging because these Pokemon will run a whole lot more. So you do have to take that into account as well. So just to take a break in between reviews, we are now doing a Kyurem raid. So the Go-tcha in the background, or whatever auto catcher you're using, is going to be spinning and catching everything at the same time. So now I'm able to raid, it's catching Pokemon, spinning stops. The one downside is make sure to have enough bag storage to be able to catch all the Pokemon in your area. And finally, we have the dual Catchmon. It's going to be a 2 Pokemon auto catcher all in one. It's approximately this big. I don't have one on me. We're gonna check out the video right now. It's gonna be $84. So as far as that goes, $84 in that regard, it's definitely better to get 2 gotchas for a cheaper price and not have them tapped together. But if you do decide to get this one, it's going to be basically a brick that can connect to 2 phones at once. Not only that, it's gonna run off 2 AAA batteries. So the Pokemon Go Plus is gonna run off a watch battery. This one running off the 2 AAA batteries. You can buy rechargeable ones, but that is a next step. So you can see it in action right here, connected to 2 phones at the same time. So it's pretty unique for those people that do play with 2 phones, maybe play with your wife's phone or your kid's phone, or maybe you have 2 phones for yourself. So with all of that said, it's now starting to rain. What are gonna be my recommendations for you guys? If you want it to be the ultimate most control, you wanna be the official Pokemon Go device, you're gonna get the Pokeball Plus. That's my recommendation. That is the best one out there. But if you wanna go for the most hardcore, play like I play, get the most Stardust, the most shinies, and just be the ultimate boss, you're gonna get a Go-tcha. In my opinion, it really just depends which one you want. Do you wanna have the bracelets, or do you wanna have the other one that you can switch it up from a bracelet to a little keychain, or whatever that is? That one's gonna be ultimate, and plus it's only $35, so you can get 2 of those for $70 if you so desire to have 2 of them for phones. So that's gonna do it, guys. I hope this helped out a ton. I hope you guys do invest in one because it's an amazing investment. It really helps out your gameplay. It gets you more shinies, more Stardust, more XP, and helps you have more fun. So thank you to all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody who takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.